hope everyone had a good week off. I took a week off from recording and doing videos. I just last weekend had some real fun. Anyways, let me put this up just a little bit. I am going to do another recipe on the fly again. So I wanted to let you know what I'm using. I'm using huge Poblano peppers. I have 3 different kinds of beans. I have black beans, black-eyed peas, and garbanzo beans. And then I have my lemons, and I got one of each kind of onion because I just couldn't decide which onion I wanted, red or white. So I'm going to put them both in there. It's going to be fancy that way. And then I already just washed these. I'm going to pop these in. I'm going to boil them and get them soft. So what I'm going to be doing is preparing the potatoes. I'm going to soak the beans. I'll come back and tell you what proportions I'm doing on that one. I will cut up the onions, and the lemon and the poblanos will be the second phase, which you'll see me in a whole different outfit because I'm doing this kind of like a day and a half prior to doing what I'm going to do with the peppers, because I want my beans soft. I can never get the beans to be soft by soaking them just overnight. I don't know who can get their beans soft soaking them overnight. It takes me more than overnight. So I will do that with a few more steps of what I'm doing. All right. So I am back. This thing's not recording. I can never tell this. Okay. Yeah, no, it's recording. The seconds are actually on a very white spot of the screen, and the seconds are in white, so not a good thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is measure out the beans. I'm going to turn on my handy-dandy scale, and I'm going to put my soaking glass bowl in there, so I'm going to zero it out. Ooh, I got more sassy onion soup, and I got the potatoes on the back. Those are sweet potatoes. I don't know if I said sweet potato or not, but those are sweet potatoes that I am steaming to make for this. These, I weighed them, and this was 454. This was 458. And this was 456, so they got them pretty close. I'm going to try to put maybe 300 grams of each in the bowls. Now the one thing, ooh, going crazy. The thing that I didn't realize is I have to actually wash these. Ooh, 300 exactly. So I will wash them, and then I'll add water after I wash them. But I want the dry portion to be at 300. So we'll put that there. Ooh, that one weighs a little more, 24. Okay, so we want this one at 300 also. Isn't that wonderful? So we're doing 300 grams, or kilograms, grams, see all this metric stuff. I am promising myself I'm going to get better at metric system, because I think in the U.S., our schooling, we got a little bit shafted on that. They didn't kind of, 300, they didn't kind of make us conform to the world standard of the metric system. So I think it's about time. I've avoided it for 50 years, so I might as well, you know, start a new half a century thing and get better at my metric system stuff. I remember the first time they introduced it, and they're like, okay, for temperature you add 32 and 20 and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's too complicated. Now I kind of understand that the 212 is boiling, so 212 equals 100, and then I kind of go from there. I kind of divide by 2 and all that great stuff when I need to. Wow, just a few little peas. Really? All right, we're almost 300. 2 peas brought it to 300. I tell you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these off, and then we'll see how much. I don't know how exactly how, because you're supposed to do like 6 cups of water with this. I'll let you know. This is a recipe on the fly again. So I'm back. I washed my beans. So we have these all 3 at 300 grams, but they're kilograms, but they're washed. Let me see this. See, it says gram on the back package, and then it's kilograms here. I'm going to just say grams from now on. That's how we're going to do it. I need to go back to school. Yay! school's fun. Okay, so we'll put the bowl on there. We'll zero this guy out. And let's see, we're gonna soak them. In 750 grams of water. That's what we're gonna soak them in. That sounds like a good amount for me. Put this on there. Zero them out. And grab more water. Glad you can still see me. I should probably learn how to edit and cut things like this out so I can magically have like 3 cups of water ready and just going. Just like bam, bam, bam. One of these days. I just had to buy a new computer. My one computer decided to do that boot drive, couldn't boot error. So once it starts that, it's pretty much downhill. Wow, that seems like more. Oh, there we go, 750, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so my one computer did the boot drive thing and died today. So I'm lucky I kept my backup computer because I do work from home from my computer. I have that one computer is the only computer. That's all I do on that computer is my work. So I had to vamp up my regular computer that I just do all my fun stuff on. Kind of throws you for a loop. I'm just lucky that I didn't have to call out and then go physically buy a computer and come back because I do have a computer temporarily to use. And I am so grateful and thankful that I have that option. I'm so grateful right now that I can work from home because I know a lot of people aren't able to work and work from home. So 7:30, just seems like it gets higher up on the, ooh, 7:49. Can we do a little drop? 7:50, yay, so I got 3 at 7:50. So we're gonna soak these beans. Today is Thursday night, about 9 p.m. Saturday is when I'm gonna prep everything. So I just want you to know the time frame because, like I said, I can't get beans to soak nice overnight. They just don't soften right, and they don't cook right, and they don't do what I want them to do if I don't soak them forever in a day. Okay, I'll be back. We'll cut onions. Okay, well, so I got my one red onion, white onion. I think I've said this before. One of the secrets to cutting onions and not crying that really helps with me, it doesn't work quite all the time, is to, when you slice, try to keep everything mashed together so the juices aren't open in the air, because when the juices of the onion are open in the air, the sulfur comes out of the onion, and the sulfur is what makes a lot of people's eyes cry. And then I've noticed it works about 90% of the time with me, but sometimes I think my eyes are just so dry from my allergies that no amount of help from basically this little trick to chopping or to putting eye drops in. I've tried eye drops all the time. I'm trying to, I don't know, it's not minced, it's probably more diced, because when I do these are going to actually be heated up, so they should get softer. Yay! I just cutting things. I cut my finger real bad one time. I have big stitches, so. And that was because something just slipped. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to dice up these onions, and they're going to be all magically prepared for Saturday to put them all together. You know, there's a big debate whether you should chop up onions ahead of time because the way they absorb. I think I have my refrigerator really cool. These are going inside a container. They are going to be cooked, so I think I've got 3 things there. I haven't had any issues. I'm not saying that I will never have any issues. I think you need to just find out what works for you as far as onions and take proper cautions. Okay. I made it back. It's 2 days later. It's Saturday. Let me shed some light on this because, oh yay. I turned it on. I was like, no, I gotta go over there and turn it on. Okay, so I got my beans. They're all soaked. They look like they've doubled in size. This is probably the best soaking I've ever had with beans, because normally they just still look dry and crusty. So it's the garbanzo beans. This is the black eyed peas. And then these are just the plain black beans. They look nice and, you know, good. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to rinse these all off really good. I'm going to put them in a pot to boil in their individual pots. It's going to be a little tricky. I was going to film me just prepping it and so forth, but I just realized I only have 2 boiling pots. I think I can get a 3rd one going just to cut my time down instead of show you all the things. But basically, I'm pouring them in the big colander up there, and then I'm going to rinse them off really, really good, and then I'm going to put them in the pot with water and boil them. Because these being 300 grams, I'm going to try to do 2 types of dishes with them. We'll see how much they puree up and so forth. These are my sweet potatoes. I had boiling, my other ones must have been bad because when I got done boiling them, they weren't soft. And when I kept sticking the fork in them, they were hard. So when I cut them open, they were actually all black. And they weren't black when I bought them because I had given my dogs a few slivers before I started boiling them. And they were orange, they were fine. So I don't know if it was some kind of chemical in the ground that they absorbed or something happened. And then when I cooked them, it just chemically changed them. So I have my Poblano peppers, I have my lemons, I have my garlic, and I have my onions. So I am going to take care of the beans on the stove, and I will be back, and we'll have some fun with all this stuff. Come to my kitchen. I'm going to kidnap you. Yay! And feed you a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so we're about to make the juicy part of the mix, which is the lemons. I did decide to add some garlic to go along with the onions. So I am going to, let's start with onions. How much onions do we want to put in there? Let's get my measuring cup. That way we can have it all measured out. See if I can keep the consistency flavor up when I do this again. I used to bake, I never wrote down what I did, but I used to always stuff poblanos and bake them. They do take about an hour to an hour and a half to bake because you can easily crisp them or burn them accidentally, and I just opt not to. So this is red and white onions mixed. Just put those in there. So the weight is 115 grams. We decided on grams the other day, didn't we? Put that in there. The garlic, we'll just add the garlic in there. The garlic will add, makes it 128, so 13 grams of garlic. I'm gonna freeze these onions actually, and I'm gonna use them for my eggs in the morning for breakfast. So I got my sweet potatoes, and then we'll do the lemons. This, I used to always hate that you got the seeds when you squished them. And then I saw other YouTubers actually do the strainer method and catch the juice. Do this. The best part about squeezing lemons, it's kind of like the squishy ball thingies, stress release balls that you pay lots of money for. Just buy lemons and squish them and make lemonade. Just, you know, use a comfortable amount of sugar, and I prefer honey or sometimes molasses or maple syrup. That's what I prefer versus sugar. So I'm going to try to juice as much as I can out of these. Squishy, squishy, squishy. How's everyone's 2021 going? Mine has been so challenging. My whole 2020 started on Groundhog's Day. I was passing what they thought was kidney stones. And in November I had a surgery. I had 3 weeks where I'm like, yay, I got my life back. And then everything started waking up again. And then earlier this week, I had passed something that looks like a piece of hard plastic or glass. I might put a clip on there so you guys can see it. It'll just pop up in the middle of this video because I'm not that talented to cut it out and show you. But it'll just show up in the video possibly. And I'm just curious if I ate some food or drank a soda that had broken glass or it looks like a tube from food injection, like a soda machine or a, you know, some kind of machine. And it's just hard to say. You could just, honestly, in a soda machine, you could just swallow those down and not even realize it and think they're just like an ice cube. So in my nice lemony hands. So this looks like, in general, it's about 8 ounces, it looks like. So let's turn this on. Let's zoom. So remember we were at 130. Oh, why is it at 130 though? 128, the lemon was pushing against it. So I'm adding 174. So 128 to 174 with, yeah, that's math. Okay, it's something like 46 grams, I think. I'll get the correct measurement in the description. So I am popping those in there, and I'm going to blend this up real nice. And I will be back, because this makes a lot of noise. I don't think you guys want to listen to noisy things while I do this. All right. So I have my poblamos all washed and ready for fun. My sweet potatoes, I blended this up in my little magic bullet. Got it going real good. Let me move these slightly that way. These are my lacto-fermented. These are the jalapenos and the cabbage that I did on that video. This is about week 2. I haven't seen anything great with it. I don't really notice any huge bubbles coming off of it. I don't see it. Maybe I might actually see something growing on that one. I might have to scoop that one out soon. But this is my lacto-fermented thingy to see how that's going to work out. Okay, back to sweet potatoes. So this is onions, garlic, and lemon juice. So we'll plop that in there. This actually would be fun to do with purple potatoes. So you could do like purple potatoes Halloween. That's what I was trying to say. You could do a mixture of purple potatoes and orange potatoes to give like a Halloween feel to these. So we got that in there. I'm turning the sweet potatoes into a paste. So overall what I'm doing is I'm making a hummus-based paste out of those 3 separate beans, and I want to see which one for myself tastes better. How many times have you done a recipe 100 times and you've never explored possibly using different beans and so forth? That's kind of what I'm going for. Let me see if I got my masher. I got my masher. So I'm going to just mash these up and blend these really good. So as my beans are cooking and softening, which I'm having a feeling that I should have started them way earlier, so this video is going to be a long night for me. You can also, if you want, you can put cooked bacon bits or chicken. You can put any kind of little bit of protein in here if you want to stuff it in the sweet potatoes. But the 3 different beans I'm using, I am going to mix this instead of tahini. Tahini, it's good. I don't really prefer it. If I eat commercial hummus, I expect it, so it's kind of like, that's fine. But as far as tahini goes, between me just not loving tahini and then the cost of tahini, a little jar, a little like 16-ounce jar was something like $10, and I'm like, no. And that was years ago. So I came up with the sweet potatoes or the yams. You can buy yams if you want. These were sweet potatoes, even though they're orange, unless the store had them mislabeled. But I like to stuff even jalapenos. You can stuff them with this. You can add a little cheese to it, and then you just bake them for about an hour and a half at like 425, and you just keep a peek at them. We'll go over it as I get there. But there we go. We got our mashers. And for my poblamos, I'm just going to basically take the top off. Most of the time in there, it's not too bad. You can just gently cut this out and take the seeds out so you can stuff them real easy. And they get nice and hollow in there. You got a lot of room for stuffing them. And I find, to me, these are medium. Everyone's taste bud's different. I have had a hot poblano. So don't be surprised if you get a hot poblano. You can. You might want to go with green peppers. red pepper. You can try the red pepper, the orange peppers, the yellow peppers. You can try those if you like really mild peppers. I like a little zing to my peppers. And basically, that's that. I guess I will come back when my beans are all nice and soft. And then I'll show you how I prep them for the oven. And show them what temperature to cook them at. Then you guys can create and make. I mean, this is kind of a recipe on the fly because I've never written it down. I've kind of went with my taste buds of let's throw this in there, let's throw that in there. I've added sweet potato and cayenne pepper. I'll sometimes put cayenne pepper with it. Oh my goodness. Or if you find a good barbecue sauce, you can basically, you can drip some barbecue sauce in there so it kind of coats it. And then you add the sweet potato. Oh, yeah. So there's so many different variables you can do with this recipe. And I'm keeping it basic because I do have the beans going to make the hummus portion because technically they're sweet potato hummus stuffed poblano peppers. And then I'm going to have extra hummus on the side. All right, I will be back. My black beans got soft first, so I am ready to try and whip these up into a nice creamy, there we go, a nice creamy bean paste or hummus. Some say hummus is only garbanzo beans, but I don't know, maybe? I haven't done that research before I offend anyone. I don't know if that's true or not. Garbanzo beans should be the only thing called hummus. I don't know. That's actually interesting. So we will do black beans. I'm going to try it with my hand mixer thing. While videotaping, we'll see if stuff flies everywhere. I kept my Mirepoix containers to basically put each one in a separate container and try them out. I'm getting excited here. I'm a little bit nervous about this hand mixer. I have not used this hand mixer before, so I don't know the strength of it. So we might be in for some fun. I hope it doesn't though, because that'd be sad. See if I can. Oh, that's not too bad. Nice. Look at that. It's not too loud. This is a Cuisinart, it looks like. So you just want to get it into your knife. I could have probably used more. The nice thing though is the sweet potatoes. I was able to get 4 300-gram units of the sweet potatoes because I figure if I have too much for the pepper and too much for this, I'm going to just mix all 3 beans into one and just do like a combo mix as a 4th bowl. So I am going to just mix away, and I have the other 2 still on the stove. The garbanzos are almost soft enough. The black-eyed peas, which I shouldn't call them beans, but the black-eyed peas are the ones that are taking the longest to cook, which is, I don't know. It's been 2 hours just softening them, and they did soak a day and a half. I am going to have to research, or I'm going to have to prepare my beans a day or 2 ahead of doing these recipes, just to make sure that it's quick, efficient for you guys. All right. Yes, light. Garbanzo beans. I'm going to be quiet because I'm going to fast forward this one really fast in the video. Basically, I'm just mixing and blending 300 beans to 300 grams of sweet potato, and the sweet potato also has the lemon and the garlic and the onions all in there, so it's everything as far as that goes. So now I'm going to be quiet. So you get the idea. I'm blending garbanzo beans with sweet potato mash. I will be back for the black-eyed peas. And finally, the black-eyed peas. Yay, so we'll have 3 different ones to try and bake up. I like this thing. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is the metal is scratching the bowl a little bit, but I'm okay. Alrighty, when I'm done, I will be back. sign on my forehead before I turn the camera on. Lights, camera, action. Okay, so these are the 3 different kinds. I have the garbanzo and sweet potato, the black-eyed pea and sweet potato, and the black beans and sweet potato. I put them in separate jars. And then I have my peppers to stuff. So let me taste them. Garbanzo, very natural buttery flavor to it. I can taste the onion and the garlic. I don't taste the lemon. I probably would add more lemon and maybe some olive oil to the mixture to give it a little more wetness, because I think that that's where the tahini, being a nut, adds nut oils when you mix it in. So the black-eyed peas. Black-eyed pea is very, very earthy, like an earthy flavor. I would, again, add some olive oil, pump up the lemon. I don't know, maybe add cayenne to this one. Add some zing to it because it's very earthy. And let's see, black bean. Black bean, I would pump up the garlic. If you like garlic, black bean one, pump it up. The garlic would be excellent for that. So I am gonna just put this aside, and you know what? I can grab a spoon. Let me grab one spoon, and away we go. Well, we'll grab 3. I have 3 spoons. We'll grab 3. So let's get these show on the road stuffing. Just mash it in there. That's the nice thing about these poblanos. You can usually stuff them really, really good. And I can see there's still like chunks of onions in this garbanzo one. So we're probably going to have some more flavors. There's even some chunks of the beans, but the beans are actually soft enough that it's not crunchy. So I think that hand mixer may not be the best, or I have to get used to running it, because the hand mixer was getting a little hot, that little immersion ham thing, but it blended real well. It just was getting a little too hot for me to keep running it. So we got that one. I just put them in a bowl, in a green container like this, and what I'll do is I'll cook them for about an hour with the lid on so they get all nice, juicy, and soft. And then after an hour, I take the lid off, and then I kind of watch how they brown and they crisp. But I'm going to stuff them all, and then I'll be back to show you what the bowl looks like when I have them all stuffed. But so far, we got 1 garbanzo sweet potato in there. Yay! So I have my 4 poblanos stuffed. I think what I was going to do is I was going to do adzuki beans as a 4th one, but for some reason I didn't end up getting them. So we'll have to do an adzuki paste. I would say these are more close to a bean paste than they are hummus this time around. I would definitely add a little bit more lemon to make it a little bit more liquidy. Add probably a tablespoon of olive oil, and then just spice them up. The black-eyed peas, definitely earthy, definitely probably cayenne, bring out the contrast a little bit more. So these are going into the oven. I have a convection oven, so they're baking at 425. I'm going to check them in 45 minutes. If they're all soft in 45 minutes, then I'll come back. If not, it'll be an hour, and I'll let you know how long it takes. And then I'll pop the lid off to get the surface cooked. All right. I'm back. We're at 45 minutes. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to let you see what it looks like, because I'm going to unlid it for the rest, probably about 20 minutes. All right, timer. There we go. All that noise. Whew. Let's see. Oh, sorry. My one eyeball's all of a sudden getting that filmy stuff. Allergies are coming here in Las Vegas, and my eyes want to do that weird filmy stuff. Yeah, these are nice and soft. So I'm going to pop them back in for about 20 minutes and let them cook the rest of the way. Ooh, the heat of this lid is going through my glove. Woohoo! Did not plan that. All holders if you need to have hot holders. That thing is hot, hot, hot. Okay, I will be back after we got them in for the 20 minutes without the lid. Sounds good. Yummy. Now you could also, when you bake these, you could drizzle them lightly with more olive oil. You can drizzle them with soy sauce. You can actually put your own little special sauce, whatever that you decide. I've actually used carrots instead of sweet potatoes to stuff them with. I'm tasting the black bean first with the pepper. It's probably gonna be super hot. I just pulled them out not too long ago. So here we go. Yep, black bean, definitely garlic. Lots of garlic on this one. But, I mean, it needs lots of garlic just because that would accent the black bean. You might have a different take on it. So, let's try the garbanzo bean. The garbanzo bean with the pepper. And I'm not eating them all right now only because these are going to be probably lunch, dinner for 2 days in a row, because that's just what's nice about cooking them. You don't have to have, gotta make another meal. Just do like 4. I would actually stuff them and I would freeze them. And then that way you can just pop them out and warm them up. So let's try this one. Yep. So the garbanzo one, definitely, I would add the olive oil. All of them I would add the olive oil. Okay. Possibly ramp up the lemon a lot more with it. It's buttery, so the lemon would accent it the most. And again, it's your taste buds. You'll know which one tastes better for you. So now here is the nice, early black-eyed peas. See if I'm on target with the cayenne pepper still after being cooked. I could have actually, on all of them, I was being conservative, because I do love garlic, but yeah, they need the olive oil. This one's, otherwise, the accent flavors, it's up to you. So the cayenne with the black-eyed peas, and then this one, definitely lemon. Ramp the lemon up with the garbanzo and the black beans, garlic. So that's my take. That's how I would accent them a little bit different. And the nice thing, if you add more olive oil, it'd thin it out, so it's a little bit more like hummus. Right now, these are really like a thick paste. So now I got 2 lunches. Ooh, that's still hot. 2 lunches and 2 dinners. Yay. Have a great time. I hope I took you away. I hope I encouraged you to try stuffing peppers. Don't be afraid. Use carrots. You can use broccoli. You know what? I also started putting at the bottom of my thing, I'm doing a cauliflower challenge. I do not like cauliflower. Cauliflower tastes like foot to me. But if I get enough donations, I put a link for donations. I will make dishes with cauliflower, because if you're interested in cauliflower, I really do want to try to make dishes I like with cauliflower, even though I do not prefer cauliflower. So all I can do is try. Maybe I will find one, because I didn't like asparagus until I had one dish that I liked. And then I was able to contour that dish and slowly introduce asparagus to other things. But cauliflower, I'll do it for you. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.